Hey, it's Erin. If you take a second and really think about this sheer amount of BS that we are exposed to on a daily basis, it's absolutely mind-boggling. We look at social media, we look at the rise of AI on YouTube, AI generated images, social media influencers telling you that you can achieve this look in a week, etc., when they're using Photoshop. We won't even get into that. Today's video is more about some introspective work here. I want you to think about the ways that you might be BSing yourself. And I just realized this with myself the other day when I'm rehabbing my Achilles tendon repair and I'm telling myself that I can't do a calf raise when I know that I can jump on it. And this kind of struck a chord with me because it took me back to when I was between competing in a figure and bikini. And I just told myself that I couldn't do bikini because I didn't have the physique for it, which was absolutely not the case. And it really prevented me from getting on stage for a couple of years. So in today's video, I want you to take a quiet moment and think about the ways that you might be BSing yourself. And you hear it all the time. Your BS meter is good as well, I'm sure. You'll talk to people and they'll say, well, I just can't get into shape because I'm too old, or I can't get into shape because I don't have access to a gym, or certain diet restrictions keep me from leaning down or putting on muscle, etc., etc. So you hear these ways, these stories that people tell themselves, and you think to yourself, no, this is just very superficial. This is a roadblock that you have placed right in the way of your progress, and it's going to hinder you getting to your goal. Take a moment and think about the ways that you might be BSing yourself right now. Do you think you're too old to do something? Maybe not athletic enough, maybe you don't have the resources. The strongest force in the universe is the human will. Once you're able to identify the ways that you're BSing yourself, then it's time to really take a look at, okay, what is this story doing for me? How is this protecting me? And in my case, it was protecting me, not competing was protecting me from putting myself out there and thinking that, okay, well, maybe I will fail. And that's just part of trying, is not knowing if you're going to succeed or fail. And the uncertainty is scary. And I think that just in BSing yourself, you can prolong this dream and you leave all of these doors open, and you leave the doors open, but you're sitting there not making a move. So think about that story that you're telling yourself. What is it serving? Is it self-protective? Is it keeping you safe? What is it doing? Let me know in the comments if you've already identified it and you have found some ways to overcome it. I have got my handy notes here just so I stay on track. Now, with what your story is and why you're buying into it, why you're believing it, how it's protecting you, what are some of the consequences? For me, when I think about the consequences of prolonging getting on stage, I think about missed sponsorships, missed travel, missed connections, a lot of missed opportunities in that short window of time that we have to compete. Now, I did go ahead and do it, but there's a price that we have to pay for everything. There is that price of putting in the effort and winning, of course, which is always the optimal outcome, but putting in the effort and perhaps not achieving what you want, but getting almost all the way there, failing completely. There's a price in that. The biggest price that we pay is the check that we have to write at the end of the day for resentment and really not knowing what could have been, and looking back and wondering what could have been is the highest price that you can pay. So think about that in terms of consequences. The last thing that I want to leave with you is think about your why. If you haven't really homed in on this and strengthened it and sharpened it, this is going to make your BS stories be prolonged even more. So really think about what drives you to achieve. What do you want to accomplish? And this can be any type of goal as long as it's for you and as long as it's objective. If you set the goal of losing weight, for example, this is such an intangible goal. What is success at that point? Is it 5 pounds, 10 pounds? Where do you draw the line? You don't know. So having this clear objective in your mind, your why, this driving force, and it can be aesthetic, it can be athletic, working on skills, it can be family related, it can be for travel, for work, whatever it might be, but it has to come from your heart. And this why is the spark, this motivation that never wanes. And it's intrinsic motivation, which means you don't have to go to social media. You don't have to read an article or look at a poster or listen to music to get amped up and ready to go. You have that fire within you and you carry it with you wherever you go. And having that 1-2 punch of detecting that BS, writing down what it is you're telling yourself, what that story is doing for you, what the consequences are, and what your why is, can help get you unstuck, especially if you are looking to make progress and you're feeling stuck, but you're not quite sure why you're feeling stuck. And this could be a very big reason for it, because it's kind of this amorphous blob that floats around in your space that you can't quite put your finger on until you take that quiet moment and look within and really think about who you are, what you want to achieve, and what this BS is surrounding your inability to achieve these goals. And it happens to all of us, believe me, and I think it's the biggest waste of time, and often the only person standing in the way to achieving your goals is you. And that's what I found with myself as well. And once you take that first step and you write off those beliefs, I'll put them in print and quotes here because they're not really your beliefs. It might be something that's ingrained in you from upbringing. It could be trauma related, but identifying that, as soon as you identify a problem, it's 50% solved. And most of us don't take that time. We just kind of suffer and push forward and just tread. Let me know what you think in the comments. I know this is a bit of a different video. I like thinking about certain topics, thinking about the intangible, and understanding that if you can't see where you're going up here first and here first, then you probably won't get there. There's that off chance that you will, but there's that old saying that everything on earth is created twice, once up here and once again when you actually manifest it. So if you can see that clear as day in every single possible detail, you're going to achieve it. All right, that's it for this time. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.